Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So in this week's video I'm going to be sort of giving you a bit of a review of our camping chairs. So we purchased a couple of heated ones last year. I've seen some mixed reviews on them, so in sort of electric chairs in general, and so I thought I'd just sort of give you a bit of an overview of what we purchased. Some problems that I've seen that people have reported, but again, I think half of those are just down to the actual individuals not knowing how the chairs work. So I thought I'd just give you a bit of an overview let you know what I thought. So within the family, we've got different age ranges. So when it comes to the chairs, obviously they're all slightly different. They're sort of in pairs based on sort of the age ranges that we have. We've got a couple of recliners, and again we were sort of in the market of two new chairs, and again at the time we weren't really looking for heated elements for these, but again as we went over to sort of go outdoors just to have a quick look at what they had in terms of a range, they were there as you went in the front door. So with that we thought we'd sort of have a bit of a look. The downside of most of these shops is they have these chairs there, but not actually the power banks to actually power them up and trial them out. So if you are thinking about going to sort of test them out, take your own power bank with you. That way, again, you can see the sort of heat that these chairs produce. But again, we'll go into some of the faults that they also have, or common things when they come straight out of the bank. So unless you're aware of them, you may think that they're faulty chairs, but they're not. So when it comes to looking to purchase chairs, obviously always look around. Don't get sucked into sort of shop deals straight away. Go Outdoors had these chairs for about £100. When we came back, did a bit of a search on Google, we found them actually on eBay for half the price. So again, it is definitely worth shopping around. I won't leave any links to the chairs that we've purchased below, because again they're last year's models. Again, they've sort of moved on since we purchased ours, but again this is just to give you an overview of what to expect. So what we'll do now is I'll grab the chair that we've got just to show you some of the features and common mistakes that people make once they've purchased these chairs. So once it's taken out the bag, it is quite compact. You have the usual kind of strap to obviously tighten it all up. So again, it's just not all loose, and it makes it just that much easier getting it back in the bag. And again, it's just a case of pulling it through. So this is what the chair looks like. It's what they class as a moon chair. So it's a good size here. And again, if you've got a blanket or something like that you're going to get snuggled into it of an evening, again, it's really comfortable on that front. So you're not just trapped in there. A really good size. Now when it comes to the heating element, this is where you'll need to be mindful of what chair you're getting and what it has. So for this one, where you see this rectangle, this is the heating element. You don't get anything else on this chair that's heated. So when you are using it, don't be sat on a blanket. You want to be sort of, your legs or bottom actually on this bit, and then a blanket over if it's chilly. Got a little cooler, so again you can put a drink in there, and then you've actually got the mechanism here for where you put your battery pack, and then you've got the operation of selecting the different modes of the chair. So when you're testing these out in the shop, or you've got one at home, things you need to be mindful of: this cable by default is normally unplugged. And that is the one that is actually connected to the heat source. So what happens is, obviously you get home or you're in the shop, you plug your power bank in, this will light up as normal, and what happens is it stays on for about 20 seconds and then it goes off. Your chair doesn't actually heat up, and obviously naturally you think it's broken. So again, just make sure that you follow and trace all the wires, that you plug these in before you do the power bank, because like I say, it will give the impression that it's all functioning, but it doesn't actually produce any heat. So once your battery pack's in, it's just a case of turning it on. That will then cycle the light through and give an indication that you've got power going to it. By pressing it like that, it doesn't actually work for it to function. You have to keep your finger down on the button, and then you'll see it starts to glow. And then in the manual, again, depending on the chair that you have with your different settings, it will tell you exactly what it's doing. But like I say, there is 3 different kinds of heat, but to be fair, whenever we've used it, it's obviously been in the colder evenings and we've just wanted the maximum heat, so we've just kept it on red. But again, it's up to you. You can just cycle through the different colours. And as I just said, if the cable going to the actual chair heating element is unplugged, this will still work for a period of time and give you the impression that it's working when it's not. So we've had the chairs just over a year now, and yeah, purchasing them has been a good decision in the end. There's certainly a number of times where of an evening you just wanted that extra little bit of heat. What you need to be mindful of though is this isn't like having a full-on heater, and again, depending on the chair that you get, only certain parts are actually heated. But certainly of an evening when you're sort of doing a bit of stargazing, or whether you've grabbed a chair to go around your friends on one of the sites or wherever you're staying, again, a common thing will be you'll get round, have a few drinks of an evening. And again, this is just to take that sort of chill off your back sort of thing. So for those, yeah, I couldn't recommend it more highly. But again, it's just having you've got to be realistic in terms of the kind of heat that this is going to push out based on it's only coming from a normal power bank. Now, in terms of the specs of the chair, I'll leave all that and the weight and the battery configuration and so forth in the description below, and that will give you a good indication of how long the chair will last depending on the battery pack that you actually have plugged in. So when it comes to choosing the chairs, that's just where you need to be mindful of these different features that they have. Like I said, the one we've got only has one heating element, and when you go into some of these shops, obviously the newer chairs will have multiple, but just keep in mind that the more that you have, the quicker your battery is going to go flat. So it really depends on how long you want this heating element for. For me, yeah, when I first got it, I thought, oh, it'd be good to get the back one. But again, like I say, it's for what we needed it for, how we've used it, it's been totally fine. So when it comes to heating the chair, depending on where you have it, you do have a couple of choices. If you're just going to have them in the awning, then what we actually did there was actually not use a power bank. We used one of the normal sort of plugs that you get for using charging your tablets and stuff at home. That's got multiple ports on. And what you're able to do there is just get an actual USB extension lead, and then that way you can power the chairs. And by having the extension lead, you don't have to have it sort of dragged and a real tight cable. So again, you can still have your chairs apart, but yeah, you just power them off a plug instead, and that way again you can just have them set up all night without having to wire or having to recharge the batteries the next day. So that's another option that you can do. So hopefully this video has given you some information if you're thinking about getting a heated chair. Like I say, I think they're really good, but just think and be mindful of how you're going to use them. Like I say, it's the amount of times I've grabbed it when we've gone around friends for a couple of beers of an evening, whether that's camping, whether that's actually just in the garden at home. Again, they've been sort of excellent for that kind of setup. But as I said before, it's only got the one heating element, and it's going to be not like having a heater blowing at you. Have your legs or your bottom actually on the element itself, and then the blanket over you if you're that cold. Otherwise, you're probably not going to actually feel the heat from that, because like I said, I can't stress enough, it's only coming from a battery pack. So again, if you were thinking if that was sort of a proper heater at home, yeah, the amount of energy that consumes, it's never going to compare on that. So you've got to be mindful of that. So hopefully that's given you quite a bit of information in terms of when you're looking at these chairs and testing them out. Again, when I've seen some of the reviews on these chairs, a lot of those relate to them not working from the start. And I think, again, we were in that predicament to start with. We got them back. all excited, got new chairs, plugged them in. Oh, hang on a minute, they're not heating. But again, like I say, once you've read the manual and you've actually checked what goes into what connection, it then suddenly becomes clear. So again, it's just sort of some common faults. So again, I'm sure they'll be the same on all the chairs that are coming in. So yeah, just look for those. Yeah, definitely go test them out. Like I say, all the showrooms are going to have these chairs at the beginning of the summer. So again, get in there, get the power banks, go test them out and see how you get on. But as always, if you've got any questions on them, drop them in the comments below and I'll try my best to answer them. But yeah, hopefully this will give you a broad range of exactly what to expect, the different features, different options to power them and so forth. Probably one last thing just to mention is just think about the room that you have. They are quite a wide chair, certainly these ones where they're the moon ones. So again, if you're using them in the awning, so you probably just need to think about the space that you have. Obviously, if you're using them in the garden or away camping, again, when you've got plenty of space. So yeah, just something else to be mindful. So hopefully you've liked this week's video. Hopefully it's given you all the information you need. Remember to check out all our other videos relating to camping and caravanning. Hopefully that will give you other information that you need, that you're thinking about getting a caravan, or tips and tricks of how to maintain them. But yeah, as always, if you've liked it, if you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, that would be great. And I will see you all on the next one. Cheers all.